He just kissed his dead grandma like 20 times.
Interference rocks my world forever.
I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what kind of channel is this?
Some of the scariest things ever recorded aren't in horror movies, they're on YouTube. These are the creepiest videos ever posted on YouTube, ranked from the least to the most unsettling. I noticed, friends, that 69% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you did, because I plan to double the amount of videos I give you guys, and this would help a ton. I'm visualventure and you are awesome. My great-grandmother's coffin. On October 29th, 2010, a video titled "My Dead Great-Grandmother's Coffin in My Own Backyard" showed up on YouTube. It was uploaded by a man named DJ Def Joey. He even tweeted about it, urging people to watch. But those who clicked quickly realized this wasn't a typical YouTube video. It was very disturbing. There's no one talking in the video, just weird background noise. But soon viewers realized why. DJ Def Joey was deaf and used sign language to communicate. Through sign language, he explained that he wanted to share footage he filmed years earlier. That was in October 2008, and that's when things got really creepy. The first thing Joey did was hold up a human skull. He claimed it belonged to his great-grandfather, but he never explained how he got it. Then he casually dropped the skull and moved on to something more unsettling. He announced that his great-grandmother's coffin was in his backyard. According to Joey, his grandma passed away in 1945 and was buried in a cemetery. And 20 years ago, that cemetery shut down. But instead of finding another burial site, Joey kept his grandma's coffin in his own backyard of all places. And he was so proud of it. He made a video to tell the world. But Joey didn't just talk about the coffin in his backyard, he wanted to show it. But simply showing the coffin wasn't enough. Joey wanted to take it a step further. He wanted to show what was inside. He signed, "I've been taking care of her casket, checking to make sure everything is okay, so wanted to see what she looked like today." He turned his camera toward the coffin and slowly lifted the lid. Inside was his great-grandmother's body, dry and stiff. If that wasn't creepy enough, Joey leaned in and he kissed his great-grandmother's corpse. A few seconds later, the video ended. Those who watched it were horrified.
He just kissed his dead grandma like 20 times.
Some questioned if it was even real. But Joey's actions also raised a bigger question. Was this even legal? Normally, keeping human remains requires legal approval and strict health regulations. But based on what Joey showed, none of these rules seem to have been followed. Despite that, authorities never got involved and YouTube never removed the video. About 15 years later, it's still online. This next video isn't just creepy. Some think it's also supernatural. Robert the Doll. When the video "Robert the Doll Caught Moving on Camera" was uploaded to YouTube, it shook people to their core. At first glance, it was just a video of a child's doll, but one thing made it extremely creepy. The footage showed a close-up of Robert the Doll. It was an old doll with dark, beady eyes and a stuffed dog in his lap. Then the camera zoomed in to the doll's leg, and right before the viewer's eyes, the leg moved. At least that's what it looked like. It was just a tiny twitch, but that was enough to make viewers freak out.
I came across this footage of Robert the Doll, and some people say that it appears his leg moves in this video.
But why did so many believe this doll had actually come to life? To understand that, you need to know about Robert's dark history. The first thing you should know is that Robert the Doll is known as the world's most haunted doll. The doll's story goes back to the early 1900s. The doll was given to a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto as a gift, and from that moment they were inseparable. He talked to it and ate meals with it. The family said it was as if the boy could see something in the doll that others couldn't, and whenever something went wrong, Eugene had one response. Robert did it. It was as if the doll was alive. Even when Eugene grew old, he never let go of his beloved doll. After he passed away, his wife donated Robert the doll to the East Martello Museum, and that's when the rumors started. Museum staff claimed Robert would change positions when no one was looking. Some visitors swore they saw his facial expression shift.
Things that you see on TV about other dolls, they're not real. Robert is real.
Word spread fast. Soon, people flocked to the museum to see if the rumors were true. But there was one strict rule. Before taking a photo of Robert the doll, you had to ask it for permission. Many ignored the warning, and according to the legend, those who broke the rules suffered horrible misfortunes, car crashes, job losses, and even divorce.
People that come in and say this is just a joke, this is all fake, they're the ones who get hit the hardest.
Initially, many people didn't believe the stories, but when the Robert the Doll Caught Moving video came out, it convinced a lot of them that Robert wasn't just a creepy toy and that he was alive.
put our fears and our energy into this thing. We have created Robert the doll. We make monsters, and then we can't control them when they get out into the world.
This next video was so creepy that people started wondering if the creator was losing their mind. In love with a monster. Love stories aren't usually creepy, but this one is. A few years ago, a woman named Lynn Ann made a video talking about how much she loved a man, but instead of being cute, it was so disturbing that viewers even demanded YouTube to take down the video. The question is why? Lynn Ann's video began with her staring into the camera. Her voice was slow and flat as she repeated the same phrase over and over again.
Eric Harris rocks my world. Eric Harris rocks my world.
She sounded robotic, like she was stuck in a trance. But there was something more disturbing about this video. Eric Harris, the guy she was professing her love for, was considered a monster. He was one of the masterminds behind the 1999 tragedy at Columbine High School. But to Lynn Ann, he was perfect. Social media exploded with reactions. One commenter wrote, "Lynn Ann is a deranged woman. She's in her mid-30s and acts like an edgy teenager." Another who claimed to know her personality added, "She really does believe she's Mrs. Eric Harris." Not even trolling, she actually feels that way. At first, people thought it was just a bizarre one-time video, but then they dug deeper, and what they found made everything worse. Lynn Ann's obsession with Eric Harris was her entire online identity. She ran a YouTube channel dedicated to him. In one video, she proudly held up a custom mug.
This is my Eric Harris mug. It was a gift.
In another, she showcased her collection of eerie jewelry.
Well, here's my Eric Harris necklaces. I just wanted to show you.
On Facebook, her bio casually declared, "I love to model, act, write, shop till I drop, and I so love Columbine Eric Harris." In another disturbing Facebook post featuring Harris's photos, she wrote, "If you were a hamburger at McDonald's, you would be a McGorgeous." As word spread about Lynn Ann's disturbing videos, people demanded YouTube to take action, and they did. YouTube deleted her entire channel. Not long after, Lynn Ann disappeared from social media. Today, she's been mostly forgotten, but those who remember her videos still find them deeply unsettling. Up next, we're going to talk about a live stream that became popular for a really weird reason. Sitting and smiling. If you come across a video titled "Sitting and Smiling," you might think your screen is frozen. It shows a man sitting on the floor staring at the camera. He doesn't speak, he doesn't move, he just smiles. For 4 hours straight. That man is a YouTuber named Benjamin Bennett. Every week, he would live stream himself sitting still and smiling, never breaking character, never explaining why. And viewers had a lot of questions.
4 hours. Okay, guys, seriously, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what kind of channel is it?
Some think it's a form of art, some think it's meditation, while others think he may be mentally ill.
Some even made parody videos.
Hey there, for today's video, I'm just going to sit here in the corner and smile at the camera for 4 hours. Start the timer. Oh, how long's that been? Is it done? How long was that? 2 seconds.
Despite the questions, Benjamin never explained himself. He just kept making more videos, sitting and staring for hours. Eventually, he had hundreds of videos. However, out of all of them, Sitting and Smiling number 5 is still one people can't forget. Because 2.5 hours into that live stream, something very weird happened. In Sitting and Smiling number 5, for over 2 hours, nothing unusual happened. Benjamin just sat on the floor, staring directly at the camera, smiling. Then at exactly 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 30 seconds, a noise broke the silence. It was coming from Benjamin's front door. It sounded like someone was turning the doorknob trying to get in. Then slowly, the door creaked open. A man peeked his head inside. He looked like he wasn't supposed to be there. The intruder looked at Benjamin sitting on the floor and said, "Hello?" Most people would have been scared or at least turned their head, but Benjamin didn't flinch or acknowledge the man at all. He just kept staring directly at the camera, smiling. The intruder stood there for a moment. Then, without another word, he slowly closed the door and left. And Benjamin kept sitting there for another hour and a half, completely unfazed. The moment was so weird that when the live stream ended, people flooded the comment section trying to make sense of it. If his head slowly turns to the robber while he's smiling, the robber would have cried like a 3-year-old girl. If I was the guy breaking in, I would have freaked out if I broke into someone's house while they just sat there and smiled, even without reacting. It took a year for Benjamin to finally comment on it. In an interview with Vice Media, he answered the burning question on everyone's mind. Was there really an intruder in his most famous video? He confirmed the intruder was real, saying, "So I had an idea that it was somebody breaking in, but I knew from the beginning that I wasn't gonna move. Then I heard him, creeping up the stairs toward my room, and he opened the door and said hello, and I didn't move, and he closed the door and left the house." Then Benjamin explained why he didn't react. "I knew that as long as I didn't react, whatever was going to happen in that situation would make a really amazing video. I think making that video was more important to me at the time." Benjamin said that after the live stream ended, he checked his home and thankfully nothing was stolen. Even after that, he still kept making the sitting and smiling videos, each one 4 hours long. Today, there are hundreds of those videos on Benjamin's channel, and each one is very unsettling. Sometimes a video is so confusing it becomes creepy. That's exactly the case with this next one. Blank Room Soup. In 2005, a video titled blankroomsoup.avi appeared on YouTube, but nothing about the video made sense. A man sits in an empty room with white walls eating soup with an oversized spoon. Then from behind, a strange cartoonish character with massive head steps toward the man. The man doesn't react, he just keeps eating, then starts crying. The mascot pats his back to comfort him. Seconds later, another mascot steps into the frame to console the man. Then the video ends with no explanation and no context. That's when the internet started asking questions. When Blank Room Soup went viral, everyone had theories about what it meant. Some seemed logical.
Maybe there's a deeper meaning behind this. I definitely was thinking about that. If it is like an art house film or some kind of short film.
Like an interpretation sort of thing.
Yes.
But the most disturbing theory claimed that the man was being forced to eat the remains of his own family.
Oh, that would be so nasty. Being forced to eat human remains. What kind of human remains? I don't know, but I don't want to know.
Others believed it was a punishment tape from the Chinese mafia, a brutal warning to their enemies. Then the mystery deepened. A second clip showed up and it was called Blank Room Soup 2. It looked just like the first video, except this time the mascots rushed toward the man as if they were about to attack. But there was a break in the case. Internet detectives figured out where the mascots in the video were from. They were Ray Rays, which were cartoonish figures created by animator Raymond Percy. He used them for his live performances. Naturally, all eyes turned to Percy. But Percy denied everything. He claimed his Ray Ray costumes were stolen from his trailer months earlier. If that was true, then whoever stole them was likely behind the video. But no one knew who. For nearly 2 decades, the mystery has remained unsolved. Some say that Percy didn't file a police report, which was weird, but no one knows for sure. This next video wasn't staged or scripted. It was a disturbing moment in someone's real life. The Elevator Girl. On February 13th, 2023, the LA police uploaded an unsettling video to YouTube. It was CCTV footage from the Cecil Hotel. The clip showed a young woman acting strange inside an elevator. She pressed multiple buttons, looked around nervously, and stepped in and out. At one point, she waved her hands, almost like she was talking to someone, but no one was there. Then she walked away. It was the last time anyone saw her alive. Her name was Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old college student from Canada visiting California. She arrived in Los Angeles in January 2013 and checked into the Cecil Hotel. But this wasn't just any hotel. The Cecil had a dark history. It was a scene of many violent crimes. At one point, Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, stayed there while committing brutal crimes in the 1980s. When Elisa first checked in, she shared a room with another guest, but her roommate quickly complained about Elisa's strange behavior. Elisa left unsettling notes around the room with messages like, "Go home and go away." She also locked the door and demanded a password before letting her roommate in. Before long, Elisa was moved to a private room. Elisa also kept in touch with her parents, calling them every day. But on January 31st, the day she was supposed to check out of the hotel, she went silent. Her parents immediately knew something was wrong. They contacted the LAPD and a search began. Elisa's belongings were still in her room, but there was no sign of her. Then they decided to check the hotel's CCTV footage. The last known footage of Elisa was taken inside the hotel hotel elevator. In the video, she seemed anxious, pressing multiple buttons and behaving strangely like someone was after her. Finally, Elisa walked out of the elevator. Hoping for leads, the LAPD released the footage to the public. Instead of answers, it led to a lot of speculation. Some people believed she was playing the Korean elevator game. This is a ritual that supposedly opens a portal to another dimension. Others thought she was suffering a mental breakdown. A darker theory suggested she was interacting with a ghost. For 2 weeks, Elisa was missing. Then they found her in the last place anyone expected. Guests at the Cecil Hotel started complaining about the water.
The pressure in the water was terrible. The shower was awful. The water, and when you turned the tap on, the water was coming black first.
A hotel worker went to check the rooftop water tanks. When he opened the tank, he found Elisa floating face up inside.
Nearly 3 weeks after Elisa Lam went missing, a body has been found in a water tank on the roof of her hotel.
An autopsy was conducted. It was ruled an accidental drowning, but nothing about the case made sense. The rooftop was locked and only staff had access. The tanks were difficult to climb into and the lids were heavy. How did she get in? How did she lift the lid by herself? Her parents sued the hotel for failing to protect Elisa, but the lawsuit was dismissed. To this day, no one knows exactly how Elisa got into the water tank. But one thing is certain, her elevator video is one of the creepiest videos ever posted on YouTube. And if you thought this story was unsettling, the next video is even stranger. It'll leave you questioning everything. The Lost Boy. In May 2009, a teenager named Will Norton uploaded a video to his YouTube channel. It was titled, "I Nearly Died." In the video, Will described a terrifying event that nearly took his life.
It's May 8th, 2009, and today I nearly died.
Looking back now, the video felt really creepy, because if you compare what Will said in that video to what happened next, it seemed like he unknowingly predicted his own fate. The video starts with Will describing his morning, waking up to extreme weather.
I wake up this morning and it is storming like crazy. I can hear the hail on the roof. I look out my window. The pool is going crazy. It's still pitch dark outside and it's like 7:20.
Despite the storm, Will got into his Hummer and started driving to school, but he quickly realized it was a mistake. Traffic lights exploded as he passed. A power plant near his school blew up just seconds before he drove by. Suddenly, his car didn't feel so safe.
Keep in mind, I drive a Hummer, so really I shouldn't have any reason to be scared. But then I turn on the main road of my town, and the wind is so crazy.
When he finally arrived at school, he realized that no one else from his class had made it. The storm was too serious. Will ended the video by saying he felt lucky to have survived. Unfortunately, Will's luck was about to run out. Fast forward 2 years to May 22nd, 2011. That day, Will Norton was graduating from Joplin High School. He was surrounded by friends and family when suddenly the tornado sirens went off. That meant a tornado was coming, so people had to get to safety. Will and his father, Mark Norton, left the ceremony early, driving home in the same Hummer that Will used in the storm 2 years prior. Will and his dad were 20 minutes away from home when the tornado hit. It was an EF5 tornado with 200-mile-per-hour winds. Simply put, the tornado was strong enough to crush buildings and destroy everything in its path. The tornado grabbed the Hummer and tossed it around, flipping it over and over. Will's father managed to stay inside, but Will wasn't so lucky. The door ripped open and Will was sucked into the tornado. When the storm passed, rescue crews rushed in.
Over the weekend, 70 tornadoes in 70 states, but what happened here in Joplin was certainly the worst.
But Will was nowhere to be found. His family frantically searched hospitals hoping for a miracle. More than 150 volunteers were involved in the search and thousands of people followed the Help Find Will Norton Facebook page. Then nearly a week later, search crews found him. Will was found in a pond. He didn't survive. Now, watching Will's old video doesn't feel like a survival story. It felt like a prediction. 5 years after Will's passing, his father revealed that Will's room is still the way he left it, and his family misses him every day. These videos prove that the internet doesn't need jump scares to be terrifying. Sometimes the most unsettling content is the stuff people post without thinking twice. Visual venture. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys watch my video on notorious videos deleted from YouTube because it's really close to this one. Love you guys. Peace.